from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. On this Thursday, I'm Justin Gould.
And I'm Matt Hummel. Happening now, Celeron man pleads guilty to a federal drug charge. We'll have details on that.
Plus, Congressman Tom Reed continues to call on Governor Andrew Cuomo to fix the state roads. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is standing by with a live look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin and Matt, and happy Thursday. So close to that weekend. We'll start off with a live look coming from the Sky Vision camera in downtown Erie. We have it pointed overlooking Lake Erie, and you can see the water is looking nice, and you can see the clouds just kind of socked in just behind the banner. 70, but there's that dew point of 53. When the dew point is in the 50s, that means it's very comfortable or dry air. We had a little bit of rain last night, so this is how much the spotter reports had. Frewsburg had less than half an inch of rain. Salamanca at 0.29. Clairville, basically less than that, a little over than a tenth of an inch. Jamestown, spotter report, officially at the airport, didn't gauge anything, but a spotter report in the city gauged less than a tenth of an inch of rain. So we're done with the rain for at least a little bit. But if you look at radar, you notice these little things down here, down in Erie, PA, moving into Chautauqua County. I really don't think that's falling. I think this is what we call virga, where it's actually raining up at the cloud level, which of course the radar sees, but it evaporates on the way down with dry dew points. So I haven't seen any, I haven't seen anything that verifies that's actually falling. But what we do have is a lot of clouds sucked in today. So we'll call today basically mostly cloudy. You can see it here in the hour by hour. Temperature should be into the upper 60s. The computer's trying to spit out around 71, but I think most of us will be into the upper 60s, possibly around 70, just clouds around through the day. But at least there's no rain out of it, and look at what I wrote at the banner. Less humid as well. Yeah, and that's going to stay through the weekend. We'll talk about it in just a few minutes in the full weather segment. Back to you, Justin and Matt.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you. A 47-year-old Celeron man who prosecutors say ran a Jamestown drug organization pled guilty Wednesday to his part in selling heroin and cocaine. The U.S. Attorney's Office says that Sigfredo Martinez pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute 1 kilogram or more of heroin and cocaine. The charge carries a mandatory minimum penalty of 10 years in prison, a maximum of life, and a $10 million fine. Beginning in early 2016, Martinez led a drug organization responsible for distributing heroin and cocaine in the Jamestown area. Prosecutors say Martinez appointed co-defendant Brian Ferrar Vasquez to be responsible for the day shift transactions, while another co-defendant, Alex Mercado, distributed during the night shift. Prosecutors allege every few days Martinez would distribute a couple hundred bundles of heroin each to Ferrar Vasquez and Mercado, who were then tasked with distributing the heroin to smaller dealers and users. Both Ferrar Vasquez and Mercado were previously convicted. Sentencing on that is scheduled for November 26 at 12:30 p.m.
And we're working to learn more on an overnight stabbing that occurred near the Bullfrog Hotel on Jamestown-Falconer line. We know that one person was reportedly stabbed, and Chautauqua County Dispatch tells us that they responded to the scene shortly after 11:30 p.m. WNY News Now has a call into the Ellicott Police Department, and we're going to continue to update this story when we learn more.
Pennsylvania State Police are reminding drivers to slow down and pay close attention as schools across the state return to session. Troopers say that students will be walking to and from school and bus stops, and school buses will be loading and unloading students. They ask drivers to pay attention to the yellow and red flashing lights on school buses as the vehicle stops to load or unload. Motorists can be fined $250 for improperly meeting or overtaking a school bus. And additionally, a conviction will result in a 60-day driver's license suspension and an assessment of 5 points on an operator's driving record, according to police. And they ask students to be mindful of bus drivers' directions and be sure to look left, then right, and then left again before proceeding across the street.
Well, Congressman Tom Reed is calling out Governor Andrew Cuomo following recent comments that he made discussing the ongoing negotiations with the Seneca Nation and New York State, as well as the I-90 road conditions near Irving. Now, Cuomo recently said that he believes the Seneca Nation is acting in bad faith and that he didn't want New York State to act in similar ways. Now, during a media conference with reporters this morning, Congressman Reed said Cuomo is putting travelers at risk because of a political dispute regarding gaming revenues from the casino.
To me, it just demonstrates that when you see a bully like that, you need to stand up to that bully and stand with the people and their safety. And so we're going to stand up to the governor and say, this is wrong. These things don't have anything to do with each other. Fixing the road is what the priority should be, and we should make sure that people that are going to and from work, coming through the state as visitors, are safe as our top priority.
Now, Reed and Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello were some of the officials who were on hand for a press conference earlier this month highlighting the road issues while standing on an overpass there near Irving. Matt, it seems like that back and forth isn't going to end anytime soon.
No, I mean, you know what? I was surprised, to be honest with you, that the issue was brought up. I think it was, was it Monday when Governor Cuomo was in Niagara Falls?
And he talked about it again with reporters there. And now today on Reed's news conference, that being his number one topic. So good Thursday to all of you. Thanks for joining us. What do you think out there? I mean, we can tell you what we think, and it's not very good. A lot of people, I think the bottom line is fix the darn roads because it's a safety issue, it's a commerce issue, and really it's something I think it's been going on for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it this way. You know how if there's a temporary thing going on, like a temporary, like construction, they'll have like the pink signs.
Yeah.
And
that's a rough road. Or whatever.
And if it's a permanent thing, speed thing, it's yellow.
Right. And they have those yellow signs there
rough road,
saying that it's just never going to change. And
it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, it goes to show you that, I mean, how long is this going to be a topic?
Right. And the thing is, this is a huge highway, and it's not just the 90, it's also Interstate 86, and they've done some work there near Salamanca. But still, if you're trying to go from Jamestown to Olean, you still have some of those rough patches, and I suppose, it comes with the territory, right? Western New York, you're going to have the winter time, you're going to have the snow, and it's going to cause issues on the roadway, but it has to be promptly fixed. And I think that certainly it's a problem that's been going on, and, kudos to Reed for calling it out, kudos for the governor for talking about it, but a lot of people want less talk and more action, it seems like. So we'll see what happens nevertheless. Hopefully you're all having a good day. Thanks for tuning in here for WNY News Now. Hello to Lori. Hopefully you are doing well. Good to see everyone. The Jester Promoting Company, a partner here with WNY News Now, is also on deck. Hello to you, and hello to Jesse there. Lisa, hello to you. Mike, thanks for tuning in. He says, you got that right, Tom. The roads suck. Renee, hello to you. She says it looks like it's just going to be more drama from Cuomo. Lori, hello. Scott, great to see you. Samantha is here. Renee, let's see who else has joined us.
David,
yes. Lisa.
Debbie. Andrew. Zena. Hold up. Joseph. A little more. Yeah, where was it? Back up.
Oh,
up.
Gosh.
Go.
You want to control the comments?
Alberta, there we go.
Roberta.
Okay, Alberta.
Yeah. Last time I tried to control the comments, Matt does not like my scrolling speed. Coming up, more local news. The demand for gasoline has hit an all-time high here. What this means for gas prices.
Oh boy. But first, the state fair will be fueling a different way beginning in 2023. Dakota.
Oh, it's time to find some other source for our gas vehicles at that point. 79 over 66 was where we were yesterday, and the record for today is 85. We're going to be nowhere near that, but oh boy, taste of fall. It continues through the weekend. We'll talk about it in a few minutes as WNY News Now continues in a minute, so don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
Now open in downtown Jamestown, Pearl City Hops, restaurant and tavern.
I have some real old-timey dishes on there that I'm just giving new life to. Like there's a shepherd's pie on there that's gonna have some bison in it, you know, real thick hearty gravy. Then I'm also doing beer flights. We're pairing it with a set of sliders, a set of tacos, and a set of mini rolls. So everything's gonna have its own pair, so you can get a taste of a little bit of everything and all the beers. We don't want to be known as the restaurant in the hotel. We want to be known as Pearl City Hops.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
And happening now, a New York State Fair Commissioner announced yesterday that the State Fair will be solely powered by renewable energy by 2023. Richard Ball, he's the commissioner for the State Department of Agriculture and Markets, made the comment in front of a crowd of hundreds as the State Fair started up. He said the efforts are to create the greenest fair in the United States.
The plan will involve the installation of solar panels and the construction of wind turbines to capture renewable energy and reduce eventually to zero the need for energy from fossil fuels. By 2023, the fair will be off the grid and be powered solely by renewable energy resources.
Now, Governor Andrew Cuomo also joined Ball for the event and announced a promotion effort to push the fair attendance. Officials said people with an Amtrak ticket dated between Wednesday and September 2nd will be given an admission for the fair for free. The governor and staff members also took an hour-long train ride to the fairgrounds yesterday. Afterwards, Cuomo posed for selfies and strolled through the fairgrounds, attracting a crowd as he ate sausage, shook hands with fairgoers, and chatted up with some vendor workers. Now, Cuomo described the state fair as an economic generator for Syracuse and boasted about the state fair as a riveted event.
Officials and a private investor here in Chautauqua County are exploring the feasibility of entering the hops and grains industry. Executive George Borrello says investing in that field is expected to bring a big boom to local agriculture. On Wednesday, the results from a study investigating the feasibility of using the county as a centralized hub for growing and processing hops and grains was revealed to lawmakers. He says the study found that not only is it possible to develop a vertically integrated agribusiness in the county, but it also appears to be a lucrative and successful financial investment for the region.
We're creating a model here that is going to be a better business model with less middlemen, no middlemen actually, which ultimately will mean that you can be competitive price-wise, but also have more profit to share with the growers and everyone else that's going to be involved.
Now, the executive says that Chris Lacarata, a private businessman and entrepreneur, is leading the effort to invest in the industry. Borrello says Lacarata is currently seeking investors to bring the business to the area. The study was conducted by First Key, a group that specializes in brewery, distillery, hops, malting operations, and funding from several sources. An executive summary of the study will be posted on the county's website in the coming weeks.
Well, the demand for gasoline has hit an all-time high. Mandy Gaithner explains what this means for prices in today's Consumer Watch.
More drivers are heading to the pump. In fact, in the first full week of August, demand for gasoline hit its highest level since 1991.
At the end of summer, it's a little strange to see a number that high. but it just indicates that people are still taking their end of summer trips.
AAA spokesperson Jeanette Castellano says when demand goes up, gas prices typically go with it as supply is driven lower. Instead, prices are still dropping, just not as quickly. Earlier this month, prices had dropped by 10 cents or more. This week, gas prices in a handful of states decreased by a bit less, just a nickel, including North Carolina, Maryland, and Georgia. Still, prices across the country are lower than last year, with the least expensive gas found in Louisiana, Mississippi, and South Carolina.
Gas prices are cheap and they're going to continue to be cheaper into the fall. Right now, they're on average about 25 cents less than they were a year ago.
But Castellano says not to expect demand to continue like it has. She expects it to go down at the official end of summer after Labor Day. For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, Mandy, thank you. Now, nearly all of the gas stations in the country are currently selling gas for $2.50 or less, according to AAA, but our findings say gas is at $2.85 here in Jamestown.
CARTS announced today they are expanding their Saturday City fixed routes and ADA complimentary services to a year-round operation. County Executive George Borrello, along with the county's Director of Public Facilities, rode the buses in December seeking input from passengers. Many voiced concerns of service delays and the lack of after-hour service and on the weekend. In May, CARTS tested the program, offering the Saturday to customers during the summer months of June, July, and August. Borrello says the permanent Saturday routes are in response to feedback received. Saturday service will continue September 7th after the conclusion of the summer pilot program on August 31st. Officials say operating hours for routes in Jamestown, Lakewood, Celeron, Faulkner, and Dunkirk have been adjusted according to summer ridership numbers.
Yeah, certainly. I went on that tour with them. First time I rode a CARTS bus back in December when they went on that pre-Christmas
So it was you and George
tour.
and Brad Bentley,
Yes, and
right?
I was very surprised that we were the only media who attended that event. I know it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, things are going on, but we were the only ones with them kind of riding along, talking to people on the CARTS buses, and one of their biggest concerns was sometimes they'll get dropped off by a bus and they won't get picked back up because of the hours. So certainly county officials trying to work on that and taking this step to Saturday permanently, seems to be a good fix.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe one day, I could be getting ahead of myself, but what if there was every day?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I know there would probably be budget concerns.
Right, but still, something like that. I mean, there are people who live in Jamestown, and this is very much a motor city. I mean, Matt and I both have vehicles that we need for this occupation, but for our personal lives too. I mean, I live 20 minutes out of Jamestown, and it's like, you need the vehicle to travel. I think that's, something that people know, but a lot of people, and people who work here at WNY News Now, don't all have cars. They live around the downtown area. They walk. They take a CARTS bus, whatever it may be, and that's certainly a good portion of the population.
Absolutely.
So certainly they try to give that affordable transit, and I'm sure people coming here, maybe parking at the hotel and then walking somewhere, and they want to go to Lakewood. The bus could be helpful. So. Interesting nevertheless. Renee, hopefully you are doing well. She commenting a little bit on the gas story. A lot of people are using gas more of the time to start school shopping. That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
And especially if their kids are in football. Yeah, I'm sure that the practices are crazy. I know that there's a local park near me where the midget football always practice, and my God, they're out there 6 days a week.
Oh, I know where that
whipping
is.
it.
I won't say
it.
I won't say it, but I know where that is.
Yeah, and they practice so much. It's crazy.
And that's a big field.
Yeah,
too.
it is. So good for them. Certainly, I'd be tired, let me tell you, if I had to do that. So hello to Renee. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see who else is here. Elsa has joined us. Hopefully you are well. Michael is here. Hopefully you are well as well. Coming up next, a lot more. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he's live with a look at our First Defense weather forecast and whether maybe you could break out a bonfire or two this weekend.
Oh, somebody better be watching. And later, the National Comedy Center has a new designation. Details coming up as News Now continues.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story: a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Not really related to anything, but back when I was a kid, we used to have a bagpipe group that used to practice in a parking lot across the street from one of my homes. I don't even know if that bagpipe group even still exists anymore. Weather headlines, here's what's coming up. You need a break from the humidity. You need a break. You need a break, and you need a break. Yes, you, that's eating that peanut butter and jelly sandwich right now. You need a break from the humidity. We've had a lot of it, and we're going to have that break continuing. So, but most spots tomorrow is likely going to stay in the 60s tomorrow, upper 60s tomorrow. That's a really nice preview of fall. Upper 40s for morning lows are likely Friday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning. But we get a chance for a few more scattered rain showers as we head through early next week. Here's a live look on the news now. Cam, again, the clouds are just really socked in across much of the area, and this is pretty much going to be the story throughout the day. 64 at the airport right now, which is north of the city, got a north wind of 8. The dew point is 53, so that makes the humidity at 68%. And I just checked, the airport actually is reporting some very light rain, so there is that a little bit rain that's falling that I showed you on radar earlier. Tomorrow's the Bills game in Detroit, Rock City, so if you're going to the game or if you're going to watch the game, no weather hassle. 74 at kickoff. It starts at 8 o'clock, and they'll be dropping back into the mid-60s with partly cloudy skies. No weather hassles for the game out there for the Bills this week. We have a cold front that has plowed on through. This cold front dropped the temperatures and the humidity. That's why it's much cooler. We have 2 areas of low pressure down to our south, and you can kind of see the rain that's starting to fizzle out a little bit. The air across our area is still a little dry, but we still do have a little tad bit of moisture in the air that is going to help some of those showers to actually remain intact. Here's the current temperatures around the region: 71 Dunkirk, 72 Erie, 63 in Olean. And when you compare to where we were at noon hour yesterday, it is 10 degrees colder right now than it was at this hour yesterday in Olean, 9 degrees colder in Erie, 8 degrees colder in Dunkirk. Nothing shows up at Jamestown because at noon hour yesterday, the airport was broken. Then it came back online at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Such as it is. Next big thing is going to be the humidity. The cooler and less humid conditions will continue pretty much throughout the week into the weekend. When you see those dew points into the 50s, that's dry, comfortable air. You can breathe again. You're welcome. And a quick check on tropical weather. We have what is now tropical depression. We now have what is tropical depression Chantal. It was tropical storm, but it has weakened back into a depression. No threat to land. It's way out here in the Atlantic. It's going to do a loop-de-loop and affect nobody before it dissipates over the weekend. Zone forecast will start at the Lake Erie shoreline. Temperatures here into the lower 70s. Breathe again. Less humid. Small chance of a rain shower, only 20 to 25%. Farther inland we go. Again, temperatures here not that much different. Maybe the higher hills and the valleys, maybe around 68, 69 degrees. Small chance of a rain shower, but more clouds than sun through the afternoon. Next 7 days on the screen, 69 tomorrow, and that's our average high. Look at that low on Saturday morning of 48 degrees. And look at that, sunshine right through the weekend. No chance of rain. It's not until we get to Tuesday and Wednesday when we start to warm up a little bit. Small chance, the humidity comes back with it as well, and a small chance of a rain shower. Sports is next. Don't go away.
You're watching WNY News Now. your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. We are nearing the end of the work week. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. In a little more than 1 week's time on August 31st, the Jamestown Jackals basketball team will be holding private workouts at the Physical Education Center at Jamestown Community College. The team tryouts will occur from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. The total fee for pre-registration is $211, and last-minute registration will be $232. Registration for the tryouts can be completed on the Jamestown Jackals team website. Jamestown Community College is offering intramural sports for students for the fall season. Students can choose to either play flag football or lawn games. Lawn games being offered are badminton, cornhole, ladder ball, and spike ball. Games will take place every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from noon until 1:10 p.m. Registration for fall intramural sports will start on August 26th and will end on September 6th and can be filled out on the college website. Tonight, with a 9:37 first pitch on the East Coast, the New York Yankees will close out their 3-game road series versus the Oakland A's. The Yanks are in first in the AL East at 83-45, despite currently being on a 3-game losing skid. Meanwhile, Oakland is in second in the AL West with a 73-53 record, shaving down their deficit for first place to 7 games behind the Houston Astros, which was 8 games prior to the start of the series. Masahiro Tanaka is tabbed as New York's starting pitcher against Oakland's Tanner Roark. The game will be televised on the Yes Network. That's it for sports today. Justin and Matt, back to you.
Alrighty, Norm, thank you very much. Well, the National Comedy Center was named one of Time's World's Greatest Places in the publication's September 2019 cover story. The center was selected as one of only 100 new and newly noteworthy destinations to experience right now, and one of only 9 attractions to visit in the United States. Time solicited nominations across a variety of categories, such as museums, parks, bars, restaurants, theme parks, cruises, and hotels from its editors and correspondents around the world, as well as dozens of industry experts. The issue hits newsstands on Friday, and previously, Justin, the National Comedy Center was selected by People magazine as one of the 100 Reasons to Love America, and it was voted the best new attraction by USA Today.
Pretty cool. The rave reviews for that Comedy Center, and I've been there a couple of times, and it is pretty cool.
You've been, well, I've been there once. You've been there a couple.
Dakota's been there too. You were there on the opening of it. We had our special broadcast from in there, and the one thing that I thought was cool about it is it does change as time goes on, because I figured just most recently that when I went there, I'm like, well, you know, most of the stuff is probably the same from a few months ago when I went, and it wasn't. Like, it was, they had different exhibits and a new monitor here, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, so
and
pretty cool.
And you know, I think the way that they're working it is that they're essentially kind of working it like a typical sort of like I don't know, sort of like a museum where they always get like special exhibits, and they're
like
always adding new exhibits and whatnot to try to freshen things up.
There's stuff that's there that, it's main attraction, you know, going to be there, but you know, and things change, and then the bracelet idea is really cool because it is a tailored experience to you, where if you swipe in, the museum will change based on the taste you select when you go in. So certainly the nation's raving about it.
And you have to think too that, you know, how many famous people have been in comedy over the years. Tons and tons of people. So, you know, I can see in the next several years there's going to be a lot more things in the Comedy Center, a lot more exhibits to honor people who've been in comedy, because I mean, the Comedy Center has got a lot of people in there now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, it's anyone's guess what it's going to be in just a couple of years.
It really is amazing. So, big football tonight.
Well, that's actually tomorrow night, Jay.
Tomorrow night, okay.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow night. Ford Field in Detroit. Bills play the Lions. It's their next preseason game. No weather hassles, 74 down to 65. No weather hassles there. Getting back to here, our weather, taste of fall. 69 is our average high for tomorrow. Most of us will stay in the 60s all day. Beautiful weekend, loads of sunshine, no chance of rain at all through the weekend. And we do bring the humidity back just for one day on Tuesday, but then it clears, but then we get a little bit of rain in here.
Detroit Rock City.
Gotta love it. Dakota, thanks. Hey, we're back tomorrow. See you then.